We've got Neil Mills, meanwhile, on the phone with us. He is the CEO of SpiceJet. Mr. Mills, firstly, if you could just take us through the impact of the talk yesterday about one of your shareholders being probed in the 2G scam and the impact that it's had on your company. If you could just clarify that for us.
Okay, well, obviously it's had an impact on our company, particularly on the share price. The shares were by 16% yesterday, that's a fact. But just to clarify, it's not our shareholder or anything related to him that's actually been probed. It's actually part of his family, which, although it has a blood relation, it's not directly related to the company at all. Our chairman has not had any probe open against him at all, and he's our only shareholder. Mr. Dayanidhi Maran is a politician in this country. That much is a fact, but he's not a shareholder or a direct interest in our company at all, either as a officer of the company or as a shareholder.
Right, Mr. Mills, but clearly the market is taking this in a negative way, and the linkage and association with the Dayanidhi Maran, while not be direct, it's just a blood relation to, the promoter of the company, but still it's taken in a very negative light considering this, and the share prices have also borne the brunt of it.
No, of course they've borne the brunt of it, and we can clearly see that, but not everybody can be guilty by association. And there's just an accusation being put against Mr. Dayanidhi Maran, and that will be resolved in the fullness of time. But there has been nothing against our shareholder or Sun TV, which is his principal company, up until now.
Right. So, according to you, there's no reason to worry about this particular probe that's been happening?
No, we're a successful business that makes money, as is Sun TV, which is a successful business which makes money in its own right because of the business it does, not because of political affiliations at all. And both of the companies are successful. This is a market overreaction to some fairly tenuous link between us and something that's going on the front pages of the newspaper.
Sure, Mr. Mills, you make a fair point, but if you just discount for the hammering that the stock has taken just yesterday, your stock is still down 56% on a year-to-date basis. Obviously, things aren't going too well for SpiceJet, even if you discount what's the events of yesterday entirely.
And that is correct. There is obviously a key risk which sits against airlines. So airline stocks worldwide have taken an impact from the underlying oil price. The hit on SpiceJet versus other airlines has been disproportionate due to the association with politicians, etc., within the country. I personally think it's a market overreaction. There is good value in our stock, and if anything, it's a buy opportunity at this point. We're undervalued. We're actually profitable, the most profitable listed carrier in India.
Sure, but do you still worry about the linkage? The fact that one of your shareholders is the brother of a politician who's being probed, and that in turn over the time, the impact that could have on your stock price and in turn on investor sentiment, and that's important.
Well, I think it's more important about the investor sentiment. The stock price is an outcome for investor sentiment, and that being negative is obviously not a great thing at all, and it will weigh on the share price. But shareholders do have to look at what is the underlying value of the shares and the company that actually the shares represent. And that for us is very positive, and it has a good prospects going forward.